Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mercenary Miniature Painter YouTube channel. Scott.
And this is John.
And sorry, we had a bit of an extended hiatus. So John's dying of the plague.
Yeah, still dying of the plague. Can't seem to shift it, but yeah, there we go. We'll struggle through as we always do.
Yeah, and apologies. I've had a change of job recently as well, so it's just been trying to get the rhythm right. But we've got a good one for you tonight. So we've got the second battle for Malko. So the walls got damaged in the last fight. The Dark Elves did make it through into the High Elf city, but they were then driven back. So they've come back for another round. This time their lord is Lord Vuruvial is off his deathbed. He's managed to drink a bunch of Hashalte. He feels better now.
And can't have his assassin though.
He doesn't, because his assassin mortally wounded in the previous game. But he is finally. I think it's only his second game. It's like they were one turn away from the end of the campaign. And this is only the second actual battle.
Cowardly Dark Elf. Just slide in at the end and take all the riches.
Because you bashed him off his Manticore in the first game. And
that when he died, was that?
You put about 20-odd bolts into him, I think. He went down horribly.
We might have that bow again tonight. You never know.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, we are this time fighting in the streets. So I'll just quickly show you the battlefield and explain the scenario. Because it took a bit of setting up, we'll just explain the armies as they come in, because they don't start on the table in the traditional way. So we will show you it as they happen. But I do have a bigger army by 500 points. I got 2,500 tonight, which is trying mainly to get points by burning down the buildings of Malko. Whilst John will be, although he's got slightly fewer guys, he is on home turf. So he's got the streets and everything to defend.
It was still fortified, so that is 2-2 there.
Oh yeah, I do remember that now.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I'll show you the battlefield and come back to you. So here we have the city of Malko. As you can see, the walls are in crumbling ruins. The gates are smashed open, and the city is taking a bit of a battering from artillery landing from outside. But it is a lot of intact buildings that need burning down on the ground here. So John will be deploying in the streets 18 inches away from the line, and I will be deploying a few units at a time. So I will only get 3 to start with, and John only gets 5. And then each turn I bring on...
You bring on 2. And I can bring on 1.
And so John's will spill from deeper into the city down that end, and I will be coming on from here. I get extra points for any buildings I burn, but some of them do give John bonuses. So we had this one.
Is the stables.
Yeah, so that'll give John 200 points of cavalry every 3 turns if I don't destroy it.
This is the keep. That's 200 points of special every 3 turns if you don't destroy it. The monument is a BSB, everything within 12. The pub is immune to terror, fear, and panic within 6. And the comfort station, I've even forgot what it is now. So
you could replenish.
I can replenish my unit, or I can reform and do some stuff. So if I'm within 6, but yeah, that's my 5 special buildings.
Nice one. So yeah, the deployments will come back with just once we've got our first few units down, and you'll just see what we're bringing on as we go through the game. Okay, so we're all deployed now. So I got to put a mere 3 units on the board, on either the walls or in the gap. So I've got my war machines set up because I don't want them wasting turns moving. And then down here I've got my Dark Riders with a Sorceress in. And then I've got 2 more units I can bring on in my first turn. But John, because he's the defender, he's a bit more organised, and he's got 5 units down. So he's got archers here. He's got his 2 bolt throwers. We are counting bolt throwers as separate units in this one. White Lions, and you got
Commander and Prince in there, mate.
Commander and a Prince. His Prince has got
the halberd.
No, I mean what's
he called? He's a lore master.
So he is a wizard.
The other one ain't on here yet.
And you've got a level 2 in a unit of archers back here. And that's the beginning of the game. So I'll come back. We don't roll off. I get the first turn. So spells wise, my sorceresses, I've got the both of them have got chill wind, and then the mounted one had Dominion. The Dominion?
You swap that.
So Word of Pain.
Word of Pain, and
And
then the
everyone
other
has-
one had 4.
No, it was Dominion. The other one had, wasn't it?
One had.
Yeah, sorry. So it is Dominion on that one, and Word of Pain on the other one. And I've got a Lord on a Manticore, so that's all of my heroes. John's heroes are all on the table, aren't they?
No.
I know, so you got one on a horse.
Good luck anyway, sir.
Good luck. Right, everyone. Sorry to deprive you of Warhammer for this long. Let's get cracking with this and hopefully put through a good battle report. All right, turn 1 for the Dark Elves. I do need to point out there are actually potentially 10 turns to this unless one of us is feeling...
don't say that, Scott.
If it looks incredibly one-sided, then it does recommend you quit in. We've played this a long time ago where I was defending, and I didn't think I lasted 6 turns, to be honest.
I think you still got to about 7.
Did you?
Yeah.
I crumbled. But anyway, so far, I've got a nice big block of Spearmen and another Sorceress have come through the breach, along with a Cold One Chariot. They've very bravely and perhaps foolishly moved up here. And then that was it. So in the magic phase, I tried to chill wind the archers and unfortunately failed, which is bad news for my Dark Riders. And I got it off irresistibly on this unit from this lady, but then they were out of range, unfortunately. So there's still a bunch of firepower coming my way. This bolt thrower, though, did be proud, and he killed his contemporary bolt thrower over here. So now John's down to 1. But this one, he's obviously, they've been drinking up in the tower, I think, because they failed to kill any of the archers. Despite getting 3 hits, I rolled 2 1s and a 2. So that was that for me. Short and sweet turn, because I don't have much on the board yet. Got lots to come in, and it's on to John's turn 1.
First turn for the High Elves, and we're looking in a bit of trouble already now, sadly. So the unit that come on, I brought my Dragon Princes on. They have got a character in there, and they got a Banner of Sorcery, so that was the obvious pick to come on. The magic phase, the Banner of Sorcery only rolled up a 1, and my magic was, she done 4 dice Fury Cane onto them, rolled big number, Scott scrolled it. She done 3 dice Arrow Attraction onto them, Scott stopped it with his 4 dice. And then this guy here done the Ring of Fury.
Yeah.
Ring of Fury onto them. It didn't burn out, but Scott stopped it with his second scroll. So that was all my magic muted. The shooting, those elves over there, did I kill 1 spearman?
Killed 1 spearman, yeah.
Killed 1 spearman. And then I had a bolt thrower, 10 archers, and this guy with the Seafarer bow. Between those two, the bolt thrower never had 1 hit, and they only killed 1 Dark Rider. So obviously they were down underneath 5. The Seafarer bow hit. We randomised it, and I actually hit the Sorceress, and he did kill the Sorceress. But the archers are looking in a bit of trouble now. They better hope they have a good stand and shoot, or I could be a mage down, and then that will be a bit of a problem. So over to Dark Elves, turn 2.
Got a bolt thrower raining some shots down on completed High Elves. Hitting on 4s. That is not great. It's only 2, but wounded on 3s.
Done that last time.
Luckily, my magic was a bit better, so there's only 4 of them looking at me at the moment. Let's hope this one up there can do something better. He's going to go for the bolt thrower over there at the back. Do you want to just check that is 48?
Yeah, man.
Oh, good. Right, so hit on 4s. Oh, not as good. And 5 6 is the crew. So 1 on the crew, 3s, and 1 on the war machine needs a 6. Nope. So 1 crew dead. Not bad. On to you. All right, that was not a bad turn. Vuruvial's flown in over here. He wanted to go that way, but this chariot was stupid this turn, of course, because he wasn't on the board yet to influence it. So it just stumbled forward with nothing else to help me threaten his shooting. I wanted to make sure he wasn't going to lose any wounds, although that's probably less of a worry now. And the Manticore has come in and joined him over here, which is nice. These boys here charged the nasty, mean archers that were shooting at them. Instead of standing and shooting, though, they decided to run away, which probably is a good idea because John's got quite a lot of table to rally. These moved up. Oh, actually, I meant to roll me. I've got 4 against the building to try and burn it. So on a 6, it catches fire. And that one is on fire now. Lovely. So John can put that out, and we'll have to work out. That's annoying now because we have to work out how fire affects the buildings. Eventually, they do burn down. Onto my magic, I managed to do a nice chill wind onto this unit and killed 5 of them. And then I failed to cast Word of Pain. And a bolt thrower chipped off 1 more of them. It was pretty pathetic, actually. I think only 2 hit and 1 wounded. And then this bolt thrower up here, he was trying to snipe away the other one, and he did kill a crew. So not enough to get rid of it, but he's getting there. And it's not a terrible turn. All right, but let me just see what the crack is with damaging the buildings, and I'll just explain it to you in a sec. All right, scratch that. We've actually looked, so the flames don't damage the building. It's just John can put the fires out at certain points if he manages to get into contact with the building. Well, that is nice because it means he does have to come down this way and put this one out. I'll stick a little fiery token or something on it in a second.
Turn 2 for the High Elves, a little bit more successful. So we brought some Silver Helms on. They just come out their full 16 off the back edge. Next turn, I will be getting some cavalry and some special coming out. Rallies, though, sadly, these guys didn't go off. Me and Scott discussed whether they could run off the table with the castle walls. We agreed yes. Luckily, they rolled just about 2 mil inside the table, so they are still on there. They got 1 more chance yet. That was that. The remaining moves, these guys come up, and the White Lions just shuffle back. In the magic phase, obviously with her being out, I still didn't do too bad on the old magic. So I started off, tried double 6 in Flames of the Phoenix for this guy. He's got a Gem Hoeth onto them. Didn't go off. Next, I done make him ethereal, walk between worlds. Scott let that one go, so he is now ethereal. And then this guy done a drain magic, small one, onto his sorcerers. I got it off. Scott tried 2 dice in it, but couldn't stop it. So that went off as well, and I ended the magic phase there. And then into the shooting. So those 4 archers did wound a spearman, but Scott saved it. This guy is just teasing me, so he done 6 hits to these guys and then only done 3 wounds, so left a solitary Dart Rider, and he has passed his panic. And then these guys here, old, what's the bow called? Seafarer bow.
Yeah.
He done 2 wounds to the Manticore, so he hit the Manticore and wounded it twice. So the Manticore's down to 2 wounds, and with no combats, that was it. On to Dark Elf, turn 3.
Turn 3 for the Dark Elves, and the siege is starting to get a bit spicy. There's forces streaming in now, so the chariot didn't fail its stupidity this turn, but only thanks to Vuruvial being nearby when he came in, because he still rolled a 9, so he is determined to fail that one. So I don't have much hopes for him now that Vuruvial's moved further away again. The Manticore and Hydra are trying to threaten these poor woodsmen over here. The Dart Rider charged that unit just to get them further away. Obviously, they don't run towards the board edge because it's the direction he was charging, so they've got plenty of scope to rally still, but hopefully it's just one less thing for me to worry about for a while. And then over here, I pushed up with the sorcerers jumping out because she didn't fancy getting speared by any nasty dragon princes. But that might not be an issue because my magic phase, even though I've only got 1 level 2 sorceress, it was pretty blistering. So got a chill wind and killed an archer. We've just remembered in last time that John shouldn't have shot last turn, but it doesn't really matter because he didn't do anything anyway. But he won't be shooting this turn now, and he has lost another archer. But more importantly, I got the Word of Pain on this poor unit. So they are weapon skill 1. So if they want to come charge my Manticore, they are more than welcome to. That's where we stand. Shooting phase, sorry, actually. This bolt thrower has just continued to be a bit of a wet noodle. Actually, that's not fair. He was the one that was good at the beginning, but they've switched sides now. So he only did 1 wound, which John easily saved on this unit. And this one here, just trying to chip off his rival over there. This time didn't hit any of the crew though, so I just did a wound to the actual bolt thrower itself. I'm hoping to claim it eventually, but for now, John is safe. And turn 3, John's going to get some spicy reinforcements because his buildings will kick in this turn. So I'll go over to him in a second.
Mixed bag for the turn 3 for the elves. So we've got some reinforcements come on. I've brought on 7 silver helms with full command. That makes 196 points. And we brought on 8 shadow walkers with champ in there. Not that they've done anything. So
they had one job.
Yeah, and the chariot come on from the actual starting army. Charges declared. The dragon princes went into the manticore. Obviously, didn't have to take terror because I was within 6 of this building. These guys went into the Hydra, who opted to flee and didn't flee far enough, so they ran him down and he's dead. And rallies, luckily these did rally, so my mage is back in it, thank God. And then in the magic phase, with her still a long way out of battle, I done a drain magic from the guy who's now dead, so that will be gone on her now.
You got 3 on the banner of sorcery this time, didn't you? So you had a bit more.
So I had 3 on the banner of sorcery, I had lots of dice. He done a drain magic onto her, obviously. Scott let that one go. I done ethereal onto him. Scott let that one go. I tried doing fury, the bang spell from him onto them. Scott stopped that. And then with my last dice, I took the word of pain off these guys because they were a word of pain and I didn't want them to be. So that was that. The shooting, again, was pretty miserable. It's been pretty miserable all game, to be honest. These 8 never killed that bloody Dark Rider. So if it weren't for luck with that Seafarer bow killing your mage, it would have been really bad. So they still ain't killed him, so he's still there to be annoying. The bolt thrower, I killed 2 witches, so that wasn't too bad. And that was all the shooting I could do. And then into the combats, I called a challenge because I was hoping to try and kill the Manticore. So I killed it with my commander, and sadly he only done 1 wound, so he is now down to 1. And then Scott done all 5 wounds back to my poor commander. His Manticore done 2, and I double won it, so he was already dead. And then for good measure, Vuruvial just hacked his body up for combat res of 5 with banner outnumber, wound, and flank. And then Scott done 5. I lost by 1. I failed my first roll, but luckily this monument here is classed as a BSB, so I did pass on the second go round, so they are still in the game, luckily. And that is how we lie on to Dark Elves turn 4.
Right, that could have gone a bit better, to be honest. So the chariot managed to relieve Vuruvial, did a massive amount of impact hits, as you can see, and left only the champ, who caused the challenge on Vuruvial's mount. And John, of course, rolled the 6 he needed to wound it and killed it. So even though Vuruvial then punched him into a bloody pulp with his terrifying fist of power, that unfortunately is the end of that. But before all that happened, other stuff. So the Witch Elves were forced to charge here. As you can see, it did not go particularly well. A Cold One Chariot has come on there, although I'm starting to regret that now because they've overrun a bit further than I thought. And some Dark Riders have come up here. These guys didn't want to charge the archers because of the Silver Helms threatening the flanks if I'd have turned to get rid of them. The Dark Rider there, he's just being annoying, trying to set fire to buildings, although he can't get one. But they're a bit wet, these ones, I think, so he's struggling. They are made out of stone, so makes sense. The Witch Elves in the combat, they needed 1 wound. Well, they had 2 wounds, but John saved 1 on a 6-up, and then proceeded to butcher 8 of them, and they've run away, unsurprisingly.
That's for a frenzied champ to not taking the challenge on.
Yeah,
that's good karma for you for that.
But there was some shooting as well. I got a bolt thrower shot up here, killed 2 silver helms with a single shot, went through 2 ranks, and this one here has done another wound to that bolt thrower, so it's on last wound, last crew, so I'm hoping I can get rid of it soon. Although I might need to start switching my fire onto these lunatics down here because they're becoming a bit of a thorn in my side. That's it, really. I think on to Hang on. Yep, nothing else to do. So that is my turn 4 done, and on to John. How's it going?
Oh, yeah, I'm quite pleased with how it's going. The White Lions are proving their worth. That's the main thing, and we're actually killing quite a few Dark Elves. So that's what it's all about.
Is that your 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So charges were these guys went into Cold Wind Terrier. They have got the Lion banner, so we didn't have to do fear. These guys haven't got any banner, but they did pass their fear check, and they went in the flank of this chariot over here. The unit that come on was a second chariot this time. Remaining moves then. The Silver Helms have come up. They weren't march blocks, so they've come up all the way. The Shadow Warriors come in here to try and shoot this Knowles. He's just the most irritating bloke I've ever met in my life.
I've been described as worse.
These guys are now facing this way, so they've turned and gone that way to obviously get out of where they had rallied to. And then these 3 archers are proven to be heroes, just annoying spearmen over there. So that is what they've done. In the magic phase, obviously the lady has come up now, so I didn't have no banner of sorcery, but I could have done a wee bit of magic, but she still can't really see anything. She's just getting back in the game. So that was that. He did do the ethereal on himself, actually, and Scott did stop it. I didn't bother trying to do the bang spell. He was in combat anyway with the chariot. So that was that. And shooting then. The bolt thrower, I was half tempted to have a go at the other bolt thrower, but he is behind hard cover. So I think I'm just going to have to wear that, I'm afraid, which is a little bit annoying. So he went for the spearman. I did kill 3 or 2? 3?
Killed 4.
Did I kill 4? Did I?
You
Nice.
did indeed.
So he did kill 4, so he'd done a solid there. The bows went into them, they didn't do nothing. This chariot shot at them, they didn't do anything. That was all, and then these knobs let themselves down again. 4 of them could see the bloke, and then they just couldn't kill him. None of them even hit this time. And then on to the combats. So I've done this one first with the Prince with a great weapon and the 3 White Lines that were in. They done 5 wounds to the chariots, who smashed it to bits, and I've overrun off the table. These guys here completely whiffed. I only done 1 hit and I never wounded. Scott did do 2 wounds back, but I managed to save him luckily, and I won combat by 3, but he stuck around. So that's how we're looking after turn 4 for the High Elves. On to the Dark Elves turn 5. We're about halfway through.
That is my turn 5. This turn I got some Cold One Knights through the gate and some spearmen back them up. The witches charged this building and set fire to it. The Dark Riders charged this one and set fire to it. And Vuruvial charged into the Silver Helms. These guys charged the archers and
just whip them off now, mate. Make a difference.
Oh yeah, so you get off. So archers, they have lost, they fled, they've run away, and they can't rally. So John's just taking them off. In the magic phase, I didn't actually manage to do anything, and then in the shooting phase, this one chanced a long range shot on them and missed. But my other bolt thrower did be proud and got rid of the bolt thrower over here at last. And then he failed to set fire to his building over there. She failed to set fire to this building. Vuruvial punched 2 of those Silverhelms to death, but it wasn't enough, unfortunately. They did a wound to the chariot, and Vuruvial's run off and left it hanging, which is less than ideal. And John's main man's about to come back in and possibly ruin my day. I'm really hoping next turn I don't fail that stupidity. So that might be a famous last words, but that's going to really upset me if that happens, I think. On to John's turn 5.
I think I'm letting Scott off the hook with my abysmal shooting here. So we were hoping to capitalise on a pretty strong go in his turn, but it ended up that way. So there was no charges. The last unit come on, which was a block of spearmen there. These cowardly knights just done a turn and come back as far as they could. They couldn't come their full way because the hill was in the way. The White Lions just come back on there. They moved on 4 and just done a little wheel. These guys they were conga lining that way, so they moved out as far as they could, then turned that way. The Shadow Warriors moved up 5 so they could shoot, and the lady come with them. Both chariots moved up their full 9. And that was all the movement. And then in the magic phase, you stopped the Ring of Fury or Fury of Cain from her onto the Dark Riders. I did roll quite high, so Scott used all his dice and stopped it. And then I used the banged level with this guy. The banged item done the same thing. Scott didn't have no dice left. And I killed 3.
4.
Nicely done. And then she tried doing a Curse of Hour attraction, which was just an inch shy. I could have done with it as well, but there you go.
Especially because I couldn't stop it. Yeah, I'm in trouble.
So she was an inch shy curse. So that was all the magic. And then onto the shooting. Both chariots went into the spearmen. I did do a wound, but Scott saved it. These archers could see the Dark Riders. I think every single one missed. The Shadow Warriors could see the Dark Riders. I think, again, every single one missed. And then this bloke with the Seafarer bow, obviously in the flank of the cold ones, needed obviously 2s and then failed. He rolled a 1 and that was it. Pathetic shooting phase. And then in the combat, annoyingly, I did wound the chariot again, but he wounded my champ and I failed my save. So I did lose my champion. Scott, we're tied, no outnumbers. We've both done a wound each, but I've got a banner. I obviously ain't got a flank now because I ain't got enough models for that. So that was tight. I won by 1 and Scott rolled a 7, so we did hang around. So yeah, Dark Elves turn 6. Let's see what Scott can do.
Oh, right, turn 6. It's going all right. I mean, the town is on fire. This building's on fire. That building's on fire. This is on fire. So the Dark Elves are spitefully destroying everything. But is it going to be enough? I'm not sure because it's still a mixed bag. We've brought in. I didn't bring on my bloody Dark Riders, did I? I'll just stick them on. They wouldn't have attacked anything. So. Right, so yeah, these have come on now. Over here, the Witch Elves reformed after setting fire to the observatory building, and the Spearmen are just going to try and be a pain in the bum for this unit. Dark Riders moved up and set fire to the shrine. She moved up just to stay out of arc of the chariots and keep moving about, being a general pain as well. Spearmen we're probably going to get charged no matter what, so they moved up. Crucially, Vuruvial has rallied, and the Cold One Knights passed their stupidity again, rolling a 9, so only barely, but they've moved up. And the Dark Rider over there failed to set fire to anything this turn, but he is still alive and still being a pain. I think that's just been worth it, even if he dies this turn. So John's got a few things to deal with, and the increasing fires on the town. This building here is pretty much, if he doesn't put out this turn, which I don't think he has any prospect of, is just going to collapse, although it does look a bit like it already has. But yeah, that's it. Turn 6, on to John.
Pretty good turn for the High Elves overall. We're starting to get things on the board and we're starting to kill a lot of Druki. Their numbers are depleting now. So charges were the 2 chariots went in against the spearmen. My units that come on is turn 6, so I got 200 points of sword masters and 200 points of dragon princes. So that's what's come on there. The rest of the moves, so these guys just wheeled and moved up. I was obviously march blocked, so I couldn't do a lot there. The archers stayed where they were. Sword masters moved there. Dragon princes moved there. These guys shuffled over here to try and deal with those Dark Riders. She moved back, so she kept line of sight of everything. These just reformed like so. And obviously, like I said, the chariots went in over there. So the magic phase then, I tried doing a Fury of Cain onto old matey boy over here, but Scott has got the, is it Armor of Darkness?
No, Crown of Black Iron.
Crown of Black Iron, so was it 5 up ward and immune to high magic?
That is it, indeed.
So Scott didn't even have to stop that because he was immune, so that messed up my magic phase a bit. I tried doing the Fury of Cain bound spell onto the Witch Elves, and it ran out annoyingly, and Scott did stop it. And then I tried doing Curse of Hour attraction onto the Dark Riders. It was here, but Scott managed to stop that. Then in the shooting phase, these pretty much whiffed against the Dark Riders again, but the Shadow Warriors actually got their finger out this time. They'd done 4 wounds and killed a lot of them after these done 1. The Seafarer bow did manage to kill 2 Witch Elves, which was nice. And that was all the shooting. Then into the combats, my guys rolled up 7 impact hits and I done 6 wounds. Scott opted for hand weapon shields, but then failed all his 6-up saves. And then my men never done anything. One was Word of Pain. Well, I did do 2 wounds and Scott saved both of them with the blokes. And then the horses done another 2 wounds. And you did fail him that time, didn't you?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I did.
horses killed
Yeah.
2.
And then Scott, with his hatred and his champion, he managed to wound the chariot. So he was down by 4, and he did flee. So they went, and then in the Silver Helm battle over here, annoyingly, Scott managed to kill one of my blokes. My banner was there, and he still was immune to fear because of this building, but I did roll a 9, so I broke from combat. His chariots ended up there, my chariots have ended up there, and that's how it is on turn... So that was High Elves turn 6, or Dark Elves turn 7. Over to you, mate.
Turn 7, and slightly uneventful, but about as good as it could be at the moment. It's a weird one. Like, I've pushed in, and it's all been going well, but because of the just massive stream of reinforcements, it's now starting to feel like it's tipping back against me because my guys have really thinned out. Whereas John's basically got his starting army on the table still. But it wasn't all bad. So Vuruvial's just moved up here to be a bit of a pain. The Dark Riders charged this chariot and it fled. The Cold One passed his stupidity. Those Cold Ones passed stupidity and charged the Silver Helms. And the Spearmen here have just withdrawn slightly. Magic phase. Oh, I forgot actually. Flame on with him over there. Oh, he's done it. There's a fiery thing here. It's come from falling off the map, I think, but we'll work out where it came from later. And she's got one here. Oh, I was getting ready for accusations of rigged dice then, but not quite. Right. So what else happened? Shooting phase. Magic phase. I tried to zap this one with a chill wind and failed, but then I did Word of Pain it again. So they will be at 1 weapon skill if they do get into combat. Shooting. This one up here did a wound to the chariot, and that one up there did 3 wounds to these guys. Cold Ones ate 2 of the knights, and then they ran and I ate the rest of them. And what else happened? Do you have any other combat? So that was it, wasn't it?
No, there's only the one, mate.
Just the one.
See, that chariot fled from that one over there.
So my force is looking thin, but a lot of the town is on fire. So let's see what John can do in his turn 7.
Turn 7 for the High Elves, and we're starting to shoot ourselves in the foot, I think. So,
literally in their case.
Yeah, God, honestly, those archers, they might as well have took my blooming mage off on bloody turn 2. So these guys weren't march blocks. They've come at the full way to obviously get some hags into them. There was there was one charge. The chariot went into the Dark Riders. These spearmen have come up to flank these. These have moved back to gouge the arc of that guy. Shadow Warriors have come over. We're going to try and quench some flames. Swordmasters moved up to 5 because this bloke keeps march blocking them. Bowmen just wheeled round to try and shoot him. That was all the movement. And then the magic, I tried doing a Fury Cane onto them. 4 die sticks. She's got Chandler, but Scott did stop it. And then he tried making himself ethereal, never went off. And then in the disastrous shooting phase, these guys, 5 of them could see him, and they just didn't even. They did 1 hit, and then they didn't wound. And then the chariot whiffed his size. He only rolled 1. He did kill 1 Dark Rider, but they did do 3 wounds back with the hatred and everything. And he only made 1 save, so he only had 2 wounds left. So he's dead, and they've overran up to the board there. So pretty bad turn for the old High Elves. Let's see if the Druki can capitalise on their turn 7.
8, isn't it?
8, yeah, 8, yeah.
Turn 8. Turn 8, done and dusted. Mixed bag again. So Dark Riders moved up to try and burn a building. They failed this turn. Matey boys hiding behind that burned out building there. Well, it's not burned out yet in the game. Sorceress charged the chariot to make it flee. Just because on the off chance you might have caught it, she was standing right next to it, but he was a bit too fast. This one's moved up here. Cold one's reformed there. Vuruvial's gone here. Witches were forced to charge in. We realised probably why I did so badly last time. I'm pretty sure I forgot my rerolls for hatred, but this time I didn't. So I did kill quite a lot of them, but unfortunately they have taken me out. You did exactly the number of wounds I had, didn't you? So
well, I done one extra because of challenge,
and you haven't had to run me down, which means that's bad news for my poor spearman. But that is it. Won't do much preamble. It is already midnight. We are
it's not, is it?
Powering through this. I'm not far off it. You better kill me.
Yeah.
Right, go on then. Turn 8. High Elves.
So turn 8 for the High Elves. Charges were the Spearmen went into the Sorceress. I think they were going to be in, mate, weren't they?
Yeah, and she ran and got...
Yeah, she ran a mighty 12. Anything
she's
pretty
gone.
much under a 12, Scott would have been all right. But we'd done the line from the centre of the unit, and she just went off. These guys charged the Spearmen that were there, and then the Shadow Warriors charged old Vuruvial. That was only charges. They reformed. These guys ran away. She came over here, and these archers reformed. The chariot did rally. And then in the magic phase, she done 1 wound to the cold one knight, so we managed to kill one of them. And then there was no shooting. That was all the magic. So in the combats, these guys killed 7. Scott put with his spears back onto my prince, and he did do a wound. So he's down to 2. And then in the one over here, I did do 3 wounds because they have got hatred, so I do get rerolls. And Scott done...
I did 4.
You did 4 wounds. Sorry. Going to Scott save. Yeah, Scott saved 2 of them with his ward save. So they only done 1 wound, and Scott done 4 back because of his hatred. And I lost by 2, and they stuck around. So that is how that is. That's pretty much it. Over to Scott's turn 9.
All right, let's do these stupidities on camera because they're important. He's all right, and they're all right. Cool. Right, on with me turn. Turn 9 was going great until it wasn't. So this guy over here set fire to another building. They've set fire to this building. This charged them. Cold One Knights tried to charge the Swordmasters, but they were well short. Shooting phase was brutal, and all of the white lines are dead, but the characters aren't. And despite whiffing my impact hits, I did still kill 2, which was enough to draw the combat when John didn't do anything back to me. Oh shit! Just knocked over at one of our buildings. And then Vuruvial, despite not taking any wounds, he then rolled. I think he missed 3, and even with he doesn't get hatred anymore. And then he had wound on 2s, and he still whiffed that. So he lost by 1, and then he rolled a 10. So he lost, and then I only rolled a 4 on my flea. So he is now in a bag in the Shadow Warriors have claimed his head. Unless they haven't, they might just run him down. He might have survived the battle. We'll find out at the end. Cool. So that's the end of my turn. Loads of things on fire. It's been pretty bloody. But John's turn 9. He needs to put out some fires, really.
Yeah, that's going to happen. Turn 9 for the High Elves. So the movement, the charge, we tried going in with the chariot and behind the cold one, but he did fail his fear check. So that was a no-no. The Shadow Warriors just stayed where they were to shoot the Dark Riders. These Swordmasters weren't march blocked, so they've moved up here for our last choice
over there. Sorry.
Oh, they're good. These archers just reformed on the spot and ended up there, and the 2 characters just hid out the way in the castle. And so that was all the movement. The spearmen reformed that way. The magic, she did kill 2 cold ones, which was nice. They did duly pass their panic check, which Scott just done. And these guys completely whiffed against the Dark Riders. Good in combat. shame about the shooting. But and then in the actual combat between the chariot and my guys, both of us whiffed, but I won by 2 because of a banner and outnumber, and Scott did break this time, but I didn't run him down. So that is how that ended up. And that's it. On the Scott's turn 10. Let's see what we can do.
Right, wasn't much I could do in my last turn other than he's rallied and turned around there. They've moved forward up there. And they've gone for another building. He went for another building. They were both successful. So I'm just saying to John, although he's not too happy about it, but there's so many of his buildings on fire now that even though I've got almost no guys left, I might have. We have no idea because I don't know how many points are going to be on the table.
You got a lot because on mine's 1.5 for everything.
That's true. Yeah, it's going to be some big points in this one. These 2 bolt throwers, they both had to get rid of the chariot because one couldn't do it on his own. I was hoping to try and pick off one of the dragon princes as well to make that a little bit more equitable for me. But such as it is, I'm not going to complain too much. So John's last turn. We'll see if he can join us to just do it on camera. See if he put this fire out.
No, they're going to move, to be fair, mate. I'm going to do some different stuff anyway now.
Cool, all right then. We'll see what John does and see if he can finish me off. All right, what did you do in your last turn?
It wasn't too bad in the end, mate. We never managed to kill the cold ones. So the movement, just these Reavers moved to shoot the Dark Riders there, and the 2 characters moved out. The rest of the moves were... That was it. So no, sorry. I knew there was another one. The Dragon Princes charged into the chariot and they passed their fear check. And then so into the magic, she did get it off again. You couldn't stop it, and I killed only
just one,
wasn't it? Yeah. And then there was 2 left. No, she never. You saved both of them, didn't you? I'd done a load of wounds and you saved all of them. Yeah, I'd done 4 wounds and you saved all of them. These archers then killed 1. So then these Reavers killed 1 Dark Rider. And then I had to make a decision where these were going to shoot. I opted for Dave to try and kill him off. I did wound him twice, but Scott did make his saves. And lucky for me, old matey boy fled off the table.
Yep.
Old Seafarer bow come out. I hit the bolt thrower. I went on the bolt thrower, and then I wounded the bolt thrower. And then annoyingly, I only rolled 1 wound. So I didn't get to destroy that one. So never mind there. And then these sword masters did manage to quench the flames on here. I did manage to get 2 dice to roll at it, and they did roll 1 6. So that is 1 less building on fire for me.
So much going on that we're going to have to tally it up.
And
it's hard to tell what's going on.
Last in the combats, I did manage to actually kill it with wounds. The Nag done 1 and the Knight done 1, and Scott failed both his saves. And that chariot only had 2 wounds left. So that was how that went. So all in all, I think it's going to be pretty close. Let's see how it goes.
All right, let's go, and we'll be back in a minute. Right, it is very, very late, and John is dying of the plague. So
10 turns, mate. 10 turns when I mill. Eh?
It was a bloody one. How many points were?
There was a lot of points on offer, and there was a lot of points taken. So I think I could get for yours. I could get half on top of what they're already worth, only on destroyed units, and obviously banners, table quarters, general, and all that.
Table quarters worth double in this one as well, which has proved crucial.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, I didn't realise it was that. So I ended up with 3,684 in total, and then you burnt and destroyed a good. I think it was 1,800 points worth of buildings because they were on fire, and some of them were key buildings as well. So you got 1,800 points then, and then you done another 1,460 points in damage for 3,260. So unlucky, sir. You lost by a very fine margin, even though it didn't feel like that. We just said at the end.
We had it after our hiatus. John's made it a tournament on the weekend and won it. So he's even though he's dying, he's topped up his experience. So I've
been in the doldrums.
Anyway, I think given that the town is basically now a wreck, because we have got one turn of the campaign. We've still got loads of battles this turn, so it won't be anything. But I think the next one it will just be some sparse terrain, and it was just going to be
battle,
a standard
yeah,
battle.
we can keep the stone map and blah blah blah, but
burned out most of the city, so it's just fighting over the.
I think if I don't keep it, I don't think it should be worth 10 to you.
It's just been burned down.
Yeah, it's pretty much there's nothing there.
Cool. So we've got 2 more battles this turn. Lizard Men Chaos coming up next.
You want to face my tournament list?
John's bringing his tournament list, so that'll be next time. We will try and make it next week, but with illness and other things going around, it might be a struggle. But we'll do our best to try and keep the games coming out. I think 2 weeks, if not 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll leave it there.
It won't be as a long hiatus as this time anyway.
No, that was unplanned last time. We didn't have anything geared up, ready to go. So we will try and get the campaign turn done. So once this one is done, then the Dark Elves are actually fighting for their lives in their HQ, because if they lose
we saved that one to last, haven't we? Because pretty much they lose that one, it's good night Maria.
Yeah,
because I've held your HQ for 3 turns then.
Yeah, that'll save us playing any more games if I lose that one.
You've had enough now.
It's hard to tell, because if it was the last turn, I would say let's look a bigger game or something. But
we can do some anyway. Do a bit of Johan anyway if it comes to it. There's got to be some sort of finale. We can't die out with a whimper, can we?
No. Well, it might just be. We might just do a free for all in Malko, but just all of the forces are going to burn it down.
That'd be quite good. Just do 4 armies, and you're allowed to take units out of each of them.
Yeah. After the
big allied forces, yeah.
I could roll and see if Vuruvial's dead or not, because he's
your caster's got to do them as well.
So I'll do the one that. Well, one ran off the board. Do we have to roll for her? She's not dead, really.
No, I'll let you off.
So the horse sorceress, she's
going to be missing a level, I think.
Yeah, and Vuruvial himself,
he's going to be less weapon skill.
Yeah, he's not as debilitated as he was last time. All right, everybody, it's all kicking off in Malko. Hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you for sticking with us, and see you next time.